And in Guyana, the Army's position on same-sex relationships seems to mirror the policy that was abolished this year in the United States Armed Forces: don't ask, don't tell. There are reports that 2 female soldiers of the Guyana Defense Force GDF have been dismissed after they were seen on a cell phone video in what has been described as a sexually compromising position. As we hear in this report from the CMC, homosexuality is grounds for dismissal from the GDF.
Chief of Staff of the Guyana Defense Force, Commodore Gary Best, declared that the Guyana Defense Force has a don't ask, don't tell policy when it comes to same-sex relationships involving members of the Army. He said as long as those persons do not breach the force's standard operating procedures, which cover conduct, the force will have no issue with them. Capital News has, however, obtained the personnel policy of the Guyana Defense Force. That document is a classified one and covers the operations of the GDF, rules and regulations, guidelines and operating procedures. In the document, it states quite clearly that involvement in homosexual practices will normally result in discharge from the Guyana Defense Force, either by disciplinary or administrative procedure. The force's guidelines calls on all ranks to be discouraged from such practices, and that they are in no way to condone homosexual or other deviant acts which come to their notice, and should report those acts to their superiors as a matter of priority. In particular, officers, warrant officers, and non-commissioned officers are to be especially alert for attempts to involve young members of the force. It further states that commanding officers are to report details of all cases of actual or suspected homosexuality or other deviant behaviors to the headquarters, which will advise whether disciplinary or administrative action is appropriate.